Hi again, class. I am so excited to continue reading this chapter book with you. It is called Dinosaurs Before Dark. It is a Magic Treehouse book. It's the first book of the whole Magic Treehouse series, and it is written by Mary Pope Osborne. Now, we talked about a chapter book being a little bit different than those picture books. A chapter book has chapters. It has sections that we read. So far together, we read chapter 1 called Into the Woods. That was where Annie and her brother Jack were walking down the road. She went into the woods. She said, come here. And he was like, no, we need to hurry. We need to get home. And this is what they found in the woods. Super cool, right? A really cool tree house. And it's filled with a bunch of books. It's filled with books. They said old books, new books. Super interesting, right? We do know that the treehouse was close to their house because they looked out the window, remember, and they could see their house and they could see the neighbor's house with a dog named Henry. Henry was the dog's name. We then read chapter 2. That was called The Monster. Did any of you get scared? Was it scary? It got a little scary, didn't it? So we found out he was reading that book about dinosaurs with that big word I couldn't say. Do you remember that? And then they actually heard and saw this monster flying around outside. It was the dinosaur. So if in yesterday's activity you answered the question, what was the monster? If you said a dinosaur, you were correct. It was a dinosaur. Some of you actually tried to spell the word, and some of you spelled it correctly, surprisingly enough. It was a pteranodon. Pteranodon. Look, I could say it before, so it's a pteranodon. Do you guys see that? See that word? PT, but I believe the P is silent. I think. Pteranodon. You guys, someone out there knows. You guys are going to have to tell us in our Google Meets. How do you say that dinosaur word? So we did see a monster. We met a monster in chapter 2. Chapter 3 is called Where is Here? Now, before we read that chapter, do you remember how the last chapter ended? It ended with them, the treehouse was spinning, and then it stopped spinning, and it ended saying the treehouse was still high up in an oak tree, but it wasn't the same oak tree. Interesting. And then the next chapter that we'll read now is called Where is Here? Jack looked out the window. He looked down at the picture in the book. He looked back out the window. The world outside and the world in the picture, they were exactly the same. The pteranodon was soaring through the sky. The ground was covered with ferns and tall grass. There was a winding stream, a sloping hill, and volcanoes in the distance. Where are we? Stammered Jack. The pteranodon glided down to the base of their tree. The creature coasted to a stop and stood very still. What happened to us? Said Annie. She looked at Jack. He looked at her. I don't know, said Jack. I was looking at the picture in the book. And you said, wow, I wish I could see a pteranodon for real, said Annie. Yeah, and then we saw one in the Frog Creek woods, said Jack. Yeah, and then the wind got loud and the treehouse started spinning, said Annie. And we landed here, said Jack. And we landed here, said Annie. So that means, said Jack. So that means what? Asked Annie. Nothing, said Jack. He shook his head. None of this can be real. Annie looked out the window again. But he's real, she said. He's very real. What's she pointing at when she says that? That pteranodon, right? She's pointing at the monster. Jack looked out the window with her. The pteranodon was standing at the base of the oak tree, like a guard. His giant wings were spread out on either side of him. "Hi!" Annie shouted. "Shush!" said Jack. "We're not supposed to be here." "But where is here?" said Annie. "I don't know," said Jack. "Hi!" Annie called again to the creature. The pteranodon looked up at them. "Where is here?" Annie called down. "You're nuts. He can't talk," said Jack. "But maybe the book can tell us." Jack looked down at the book. He read the words under the picture. "This flying reptile lived in the Cretaceous period. It vanished 65 million years ago." It's a long time ago. Oh, I got a picture for you. See? See? No, impossible. They couldn't have landed in a time 65 million years ago. "Jack," said Annie, "he's nice." "Nice? Yeah, I can tell. Let's go down and talk to him." "Talk to him?" Annie started down the rope ladder. "But, hey!" shouted Jack. But Annie kept going. "Are you crazy?" Jack called. Annie dropped to the ground. She stepped boldly up to the ancient creature. I gotta show the picture again because now it really makes sense. You see it? Oh, that's the end of the chapter. Oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? She's right there. She's right there at the creature. I cannot believe that. Okay, so now you're gonna go back onto Edgenuity, okay? Go back onto Edgenuity and click that submit button, and again you're going to type, okay? So you're going to type to me a number. You can even rewind in this video and see if you can remember what I said. How many million years ago did the pteranodon live? Because the question really is, where is here? Here is how many million years ago. What's the number? How many million years ago? All right, go on to Edgenuity and tell me the answer. Just give me a number. Just type in a number and click submit. All right? You guys were having a great week together. I wish again that we were together in person, but I'm enjoying our time together this way, virtually. All right? So I look forward to your answers. We'll read the next chapter tomorrow.